Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a bonus full moon for the month of February tarot oracle reading. And Aries, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign isn't Aries, we still all have a little bit of Aries in us. Where does that show up in your chart if you have it? That is where this energy will be. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. Please be aware this is a general or collective reading, so it may or may not, parts of it resonate with you. This is also a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it, it's the perfect time for you. If it has been some time since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then that might give you more clarity regarding your situation if you look back. All right, so we're going to start with this is the underlying energy for the entire reading, and we do have the death card here, so don't panic. This is not normally like, oh, a lot of people fear this card, but this doesn't mean that death, physical death is going to happen. This is more talking about transition. So it could be talking about someone passing on, but it's not, that's not, you know, the main belief in this card whatsoever. So the transition could be from a cycle that you've been through, or, you know, this card has been coming up a lot just because we're in the beginning stages of January. And we just had a new year, so we ended 2025 and we moved into 2026. And that was a big changeover of 2 decade-long cycles. And now, on the 1st of February here, we have another full moon. And so it's right at the very beginning of February. And this full moon is in the sign of Leo. And so this energy is really, it's a romantic energy, which might be the reason why I've been getting so many readings lately about romance and that kind of energy. And then on the 17th, we have a new moon coming in, and that is on the exact same day that we have the Chinese New Year moving into the year of the fire horse from the year of the snake. And we also, on that same day, have a solar eclipse. So we'll talk about that moon in a separate reading. This energy for this one, the full moon Leo is romantic and a lot of creativity and people really wanting to be able to express themselves in many ways. So that's the energy that we are moving into. And so this actually represents the Grim Reaper on his horse, and it represents there is a transition. The king has been trampled, which represents systems more than a person. And, you know, like new rules, new ways, that kind of energy coming in. We're seeing a lot of that. Like we just, this reading right now is on the 22nd, and it'll be on the 23rd when I post it. And so this energy, we just had the 3 days where the leaders all get together of the world in Davos. And so there's been a lot of interesting energy coming out of that. And, you know, don't hold your breath because that energy is far from over. And this energy is talking about death and rebirth of a new way, of a new cycle, of a new lifestyle, just different energy coming in. And then we have, here we have it. We have the 8 of Wands. So the 8 of Wands represents actions coming in that are like launched. So this is talking about launching new ideas, and that could be coming from we had the new moon on the 18th of January. And so that was a desire to bring in new energy. And then on the full moon, we want to release anything that no longer serves us. It's the last full moon in the energy of the Chinese year of the snake. And what do snakes do? They shed their skin and then they grow a new one. And that's kind of the energy we're in. It's talking about wanting, possibly like feeling a lot of desire to, the Leo energy is about being it's about me. I want to express my own individual you know, intelligence and my own creativity and that, and finding strong ways to bring that out. So perfect energy for the beginning of February. So the first card out, I just wanted to say this is actually representing the internal forces that we have within us. So internal forces are the things you can tell it's an internal force, that it's coming from within you, because you'll be asking questions like, what if I do this? And what if I do that? And what if that happens? What if, what if, what if? And so the what ifs are internal forces. You do have control over your internal forces. You don't have control over the external forces, a lot of them, and you don't have control over, you know, how other people are going to behave or say, but you do have control over either your response to that energy or a reaction to it. So this is talking about having conviction beyond a doubt that you have an idea. I'm getting, yay, Aries. And you know, you're the very first sign in the zodiac, and so it is all about the new. I am here and I want to be myself and I want to do. And that's kind of, you think about a newborn baby coming into the world and how helpless they are at the beginning of the year, and a year later how much they have learned. It's wild, really, when you think about it, and it's so instinctive. And so it's about taking that instinctive Aries fire energy, because you are a fire sign, and moving forward with that. This is conviction beyond a doubt that you have a great idea that you want to launch. And there's some people may think it's like not such a great idea or tell you it's not, but you can tell that with this energy here, this could represent, oh, these are wands that you have planted and they're starting to grow, but it appears like you are protecting yourself, protecting your heart's desires here with this wand. And that would be this project. I feel like you either launch this project or you're getting ready to launch it. Even if you just show the universe right now that you have a great idea and you just start researching it, just putting small steps of action into being able to implement this, then it's already started in a way. So it doesn't have to be major, like, oh, you have to bring it out and really force the energy. The energy right now is really a great time for going with the flow and just, you know, doing the research and each day putting a little bit more energy into it, but not feeling like, oh, I have to force this. And this person, it's talking about this feeling that you have, and I feel like a lot of people are feeling this right now, but I feel like with you, Aries, because you're the baby, it's like, okay, I want to learn to crawl, and then I want to learn to stand, and then I want to learn to walk, and I want to have a better life. I want to be like the grown-ups out there, that kind of energy. And we have this person, like, if you notice, there's one shoe on one foot and a boot on the other. And this can represent that you haven't quite moved into this energy yet, but you're in the process of launching it, like even if it's just in your heart and in your mind kind of energy. So good for you. But you have a very strong conviction. You're willing to stand up for yourself, and you will fight for this idea to come through. So it's something you really feel, I know this is a good idea. I know what I know. Keep it to yourself until you have it off the ground. That would be my advice to you. And yeah, here we have the wounded warrior. And this is the reason why you want to keep it to yourself, because a lot of times if we have a good idea and we share it with people, and they say they're naysayers about it or whatever, we may talk ourselves out of doing something. And it's also an energy of you know, once you actually have, like, you notice this is nine wands here. So this is 9 actions that you have taken or other people have taken. There's 8 behind you, and there's this 9th one that you're leaning on, and that's like this. So it looks like you have begun this and launched it. And see, like, this is those 8 wands are these 8 here that you launched. And they've landed. So you've done really well. You may have started this back in 2025, and now, whoops, this was supposed to be here. And so this energy is talking like it was a lot of work though, and it's kind of the energy, this card is representing the energy of the wounded warrior, like someone who has this conviction beyond a doubt, and other people maybe can't see your idea, and so you've had to work very hard to get it going and to get these wands launched here, because other people maybe couldn't see the beauty of it. So now it's like you're very close. There's 9 wands here, and there's only 10 in the deck. So you're doing really well, and it's because you believe in your, or like when you say, you know, when people say you believe in yourself, you believe in the parts of you that can get this done. That's the energy. Yeah, and also this card can sometimes represent conception, like actual conception of a child. And that would be, you know, the rebirth part, right? Okay, so this is interesting. You're walking away from something that you really love, and it's the 8 of Cups. So now this could represent a relationship, or this could represent the work that you've put into this, all of this energy you've put into this. You're walking away from it at this point, and because you have something else that you would rather do. So here we have the full moon in Leo, and this may represent that, hey, I recognize that I can do this idea, but now I have a way that I can maybe steer it in a slightly different direction, and I'm going to walk away from it doing it this way, or I'm going to walk away from the people that I've been doing it with because I feel like this, and I don't want to feel like this. I feel like I've had to fight for this idea every single step of the way, and every action I've taken has taken way too much out of me, and I have an idea now that I want to walk away from. Or this could represent someone who you have a strong relationship with. This could be a spouse or a partner. This could be a business partner. Doesn't see it the way you do, and that was a big part of the reason why you're so exhausted. This may have required a lot of time and energy from you, and your partner wasn't supportive of that energy, is what I'm getting. Something like that. And again, we have the new moon and the full moon showing here. So this card, sometimes it represents, hey, I've got all 8 of what I love lined up now, and I'm going after the last 2 cups, and I'll be right back. I'm just going upstream to get them and bring it back. So we'll see which one of this, which one this is, which direction this is headed. We have the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is talking about having a lot of joy. So I feel like if you're walking away, it's because you found a better way to do this, and just take what you've already got from it and move it in a different direction. And as I said, it could possibly be with different people that are more supportive of your idea. And but it's definitely, there's some sort of shift here for sure. And the High Priestess is, she is following the cycles of the moon, and she sits next to the throne by God. And so these are the 2 extremes, like evil and good, and dark and light, and doing and being, that kind of energy. And so this is talking about her using her intuition to be able to move forward in this very strong way. So this is saying you can't just use logic. Now, in this reading here, this is all like, man, this is a lot of Aries energy here. We have, you know, we have the cups here, but the rest of it is talking about fire, the element of fire. And, you know, this is Sagittarius more, but I feel like this energy here is representative of, for sure, of Aries energy as well. So there's a lot of fire in this reading. Moving into the fire horse energy. And then look at some more ones. So yes, for me, this card quite often represents someone, like you're standing on the top of your turret of your castle overlooking your domain, and you're like, you know, I've done really well. Like, I've managed to get this far, but now I want to take it further. And you notice there's 2 wands here, so 2 more actions would be 10, and 2 more cups would be 10. So I feel like this is saying, I feel like I've managed all I can doing it in this way with these people at this location. This can actually talk about wanting to, it's definitely talking, I want to expand my horizons. And I feel like I have done everything, like the world in your hands is like, there's nothing more really I feel like I need to do here. This quite often to me represents like you've been very successful with something and now you want to expand that. This quite often can be, because these are fire and they're talking about passion. And also in marketing talk, they'll say, oh, that person has wood. And that means like, and that's what these wands are made of. It means they're very convincing. Like they could sell snow to an Eskimo, that kind of energy. And it's because your idea, you have, without a doubt, beyond a doubt, that you have conviction beyond a doubt that this idea will work, and you were willing to put all this work into it. This quite often can be saying, hey, I want to expand my business, I want to franchise, or I want to have more locations of this, and whatever you're producing, whatever you're doing here. And I want to take that out into the world. This could even represent someone who wants to go global with their business. Actually, like this could represent crossing the ocean kind of energy. So good for you, Aries. This is really good energy. And look at, the divine is pleased with you also. I feel like this is a very supportive idea that you have. Like this is, you really know yourself well, and you've done your homework in this business, and it's saying, yeah, the divine is saying you've done a really good job here. You've stayed on your path, and look at you. It's been exhausting, and you are completely correct here. This now is a good time to expand into other with other people, possibly in other locations, in other countries, like that kind of energy. Wow, this is really good. And this is talking about the pentacle represents health, wealth, and happiness. And of course, a big part of that is the coin and money, but money is just one form of that energy. You could have all the money in the world, but not have the lifestyle that you want. And so this energy is talking about, there's something about here, maybe you don't have any love interest in your life or anything right now, and now you're saying, hey, this Leo full moon energy is saying, hey, what about me? I want to have some romance, and I want to maybe start a family now. That could also be representing this energy. I've been putting all my energy into, positioning myself to be able to do that. And the universe is responding and saying, hey, here's a big giant pentacle. And this represents a reward for following your North Star. Following your North Star means that you're on your destined path. And even though it's been really challenging, you've stuck to it. And because you stuck to it and you did everything you could to do it in, the correct way, basically, that this is going to bring a lot of opportunity to you. It's a big reward. Let's look here. We have, this is how you identify yourself with yourself right now, that you know what you know. This is an awesome idea and you want to go with it. And then we have, you've already landed 8, yes, and you're leaning on the 9th. And that's where you're deciding, should I take this action and go for these last, for the, take this 9th and 10th wand, basically, and expand now and move forward now. Maybe you've had some sort of opportunity that you're mulling over, some new people coming into your life, and you've decided, okay, it's not saying that you're discarding these people necessarily, but you're walking away from just only doing business with them, or only being in this location. That's what I'm picking up. And then communication from your early life. So this could be like, maybe you started a business and you had some of your investors were people that you've known since you were younger. And it's been challenging because of that, or family members. And it's been like, it always, doing business with family members and friends can be really tricky. And so this could represent that kind of energy. And then, needing to use your intuition. And it may be, excuse me, being raised by people that are like, these people might be saying, well, what you're doing isn't logical. Well, you can't always be logical. Sometimes you have to go with your intuition. And I feel like that's what you want to do right now, and they maybe can't quite see it. As soon as I started talking about the communication from the people that you've invested in this with, from your early life, it's like my throat's closing. So I feel like they're not necessarily in agreement with you. And then we have this creativity and romance and children. And I feel like maybe you've been so focused on getting, like as I said, the business part and your foundation together so that you could raise a family, and you're ready for that now. And that's the Leo energy right there. Excuse me. Adding fire to the Aries energy, saying, yeah, you deserve it. Like, you're almost there, but it won't be that much fun if you don't have, the abundance in your lifestyle. You don't want to be like, yeah, you might be really successful in business, but you don't have a family and you want a family. That, I feel, is why this conception card is here. And then we have health and daily routine and habits. And I just picked up for some of you, this may be that there is a baby on the way, and that's changing things, right? So this is the reward for following your North Star and staying on your path. And this is about like wanting to change your daily routine, like you wanting to shake it up a little here. You want some love in your life is what I'm getting, and some passion on that side. And being able to build something with two people, with someone that you love, and having that partnership. So this may mean you don't have that, as of yet, or you and your partner may be saying, hey, now we can afford to have a baby, and wanting to conceive one. Yikes. I don't know where all this is coming from. Okay, so there's some regret here. So this could say for some of you, these external forces are about the Five of Cups. I was kind of wondering if something happened like that. Maybe while you were busy building this, your partner was busy having an affair or something. Quite often this is about regret. There's 3 people instead of 2 in a relationship. And so this is crying over spilt milk, or, and then we have the 3 cups on top here. And that's, whenever this card comes up, it feels like there's usually some sort of infidelity. Although it can sometimes be that maybe your partner wasn't supportive, and you've, given them 3 chances and it's just not working out. Like it's not working out. And so this is crying over spilt milk. And so this is the energy of having to make a decision here. Which way are you going to go? This is actually wine that is spilt, and there's a glass of or a cup of something here. We don't know what it is. And then what we don't know kind of energy is possibly there was a third person involved in this relationship. And that could be why you're walking away from this relationship, or from this location, from this energy, right? Okay, so let's see. So the best thing you can do here, and I feel like that's the decision that you've made, because it's an interesting card, this one, because it's like full of promise, but at the same time there's a sort of a sadness to it. It's like the big fish in a little pond, and like kind of not fitting into the place where you thought you were going to be, that kind of energy. And so this is talking about turn around, look at the 2 cups here, they're still standing. So you want to go, and that could represent, okay, I'm going to go for these 2 cups now. I'm going to let go of the regret. I'm going to take what I have and I'm going to build it in a new place. Or I'm going to keep this one here, but it's already running. And I'm going to go and start up like a franchise in another location and get away from this energy that didn't work out. So this could be representing that your idea went really well, but unfortunately your home life suffered from it or whatever, and there's some regret here. And this is like, the best thing you can do at this point, because you cannot get this out of the ground now, is turn around, pick up these 2 cups and, go down the path, cross the bridge over troubled waters here, and go to your new castle, and it might feel like it's half empty and half full, like it's half dilapidated, half standing here, half black, half white. This represents, is the cup half full or is the cup half empty? Because this is representing a lot of success on some levels, and then on another level, not being successful. So let's see some more here. So this is external forces, though, that you have regret over. It's not something that you had a lot of control over, although you might feel regret that maybe if you had noticed it sooner, it could have been nipped in the bud kind of energy, and it could have been worked out. But I feel like this is saying that you know what you know, and you know yourself well enough to know that it's time to move on. Like, it's like you've crossed through that portal and you've made that decision. Okay, my ships are sailing in. I'm hopping on one of them. This looks like sand, but it's actually the sun is shining. When the sunset or the sunrise will sometimes make the water look golden, and it's almost like, hey, the gold brick road, that you need to go travel. And it's talking about, you've walked through this portal. Quite often for me, this card represents leaving a relationship and moving on your own to another location kind of energy. And I feel like that's maybe, for a lot of you, the choice that you're making. And then it takes a lot of courage to do so. So especially when it's been like this much energy put into some relationship. This is talking about the Strength card, is talking about being able to face your fears. And like, this is a full-grown lion, a male full-grown lion, and you can imagine she's reaching into its mouth. And it's like, hey, but the lion's being really submissive. It's got its tail tucked under because she is facing her fear, and she's proving to herself and to everyone else that I can handle this. I'm going to face my fear. I'm going to face what my part is in this. Like, maybe I was working too long hours and I wasn't giving enough attention to my partner, that kind of energy. But I am now going to make strong choices to move forward, because this is done. Like, there's no recovering this relationship, is what it's saying. So, and this is that facing the fears that you've maybe held from your subconscious mind since you were a young child. And as you face those fears and you start to understand yourself better, that you have now, the good news is, when you're starting over in a new place, you're not starting over with like brand new. You're moving into an energy like, I've learned all of this and all of this. And there's a lot of energy here in this situation. So the transition is more of a rebirth than it is like a death, if you understand what I mean. Okay, and there was some shifty energy. I feel like, I was picking up this energy here. It's kind of like, while you were busy working and getting your thought going, there was some shifty business behind your back. This is a shift disturber card. It's basically saying, it's like the energy of a thief almost. It can be a thief, but it's not a thief in the night. It's a thief in broad daylight kind of energy. And this is talking about like it's almost like this person is looking back, and they're being very reckless here. Like, they're moving forward and they've snuck away with these swords. And look how they're carrying them. Like, they're not even being careful for themselves. I mean, who carries swords by the sharpest part? It's a very dangerous thing to do. And so this is saying, like, this is like someone who is a walking contradiction. They're sneaking away in broad daylight, and yet they're on their tiptoes sneaking away, but they're in broad daylight. And they are looking backwards, but they are moving forwards. And so they're not looking where they're going, and they're reckless. Like, they're not in a good way at all. Like, so it's talking about taking the swords represent thoughts and control of your mind, kind of, so that you don't let your subconscious mind control you, and that you make strong choices. And this is saying there was some shifty business going on behind your back, and it was the thoughts of, I feel like, you know, that this is what you're aware of. There was two people maybe behind your back engaging in activities that, you know, and this could also represent in your business. And it could be someone like the shiftiest part of it is when it's in daylight like this, it could be someone that you considered, you know, your family, your friends, that kind of energy, and you didn't expect it from them. So it's that would be, you know, why you're moving on, and not just from the partner, but also from the location, basically. And then we have, yeah, I was wondering if this would come in, because this is talking about a never-ending nightmare. Like when you found this out, and look at, this is the first time we have any energy coming in other than wands and putting the work in, and, you know, having like this drive and being rewarded, and then bang, the external forces come in. And it's kind of like, oh, I guess I'm moving on. And this is a never-ending nightmare, or this can be representative of feeling like you're a big fish in a little pond, and it's just not, like none of, the only thing that you really love about your life is this energy, you know, of this, of what you're building. And everything else is kind of like, this can represent suffocating boredom. You know, every day's the same kind of energy, the same old people talking about the same old shift, and nobody being innovative, and really having to always be bucking the system, always having to push your ideas kind of energy. And then finding out maybe, hey, I find that, and then you find out, oh, they said they didn't like my ideas, but behind my back they were trying to implement them. And that's the energy I'm picking up. Like, there was some sort of sneaky energy, and it definitely was in a relationship by the looks of things here. But it was also, it could be relationships with your partners, and I'm getting they were people that were close to you. And so this is saying, okay, I'm out of here. That's that, like, this is the never-ending nightmare ending. Yeah, here we have it right here. And this is the other thing. This energy here is talking about you're on your divine path and you're moving forward. But these people that were behind your back doing what they were doing, did it involve some of your pentacles? Because this can also represent law and order coming in, and that there was some sort of criminal activity. And because this card, God bless that person. There was someone that asked me about this in the community when I posted. It was one of the cards that came up. And I said conviction beyond a doubt. And they said, are you talking about a prison conviction? And I never had thought of it in that way. But now it's come up more than once. Like in this chariot energy says, hey, you're on your divine path. You don't even have to have reins because you're going in the direction you need to be going. You've stayed on your path. The universe is rewarding you. And there's some money coming in, and health and wealth and abundance. You need to make a decision, like, do you want to take that, or do you want to stay here in this energy where you're like a wounded warrior all the time, and you're like, I'm out of here. And that's saying I'm on my path. And sometimes this card can represent law and order coming in and law enforcement because of the black and whites. And also in the old days, when prisoners were given uniforms that were striped, black and white, horizontal stripes. And energetically, when we see anything that is horizontally striped, it breaks up the energy, and it causes a weakness in that energy for people. So, and yet vertical stripes, just think about vertical stripes, and you want to stand up straight. You think about your spine being straight with a vertical, standing up tall and having a backbone kind of energy. And also, you think about a pinstripe suit. And you don't see as many pinstripe suits now, but when the pinstripe suit would automatically say, hey, this is someone who has authority. So, and vertical stripes like that in a beautiful pinstripe suit will make a person look taller and stronger. Whereas the horizontal stripes weaken, it makes people look shorter and broader. It's just an automatic thing. We have the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is talking about, wow, like now I really feel like a kid again. I feel relieved. This energy is like the nightmare is over. I've made my decision. There's some regret there, but I feel like a lot of the regret might be from the other people, perhaps because they got caught. Who knows? Like, and it could also be some regret on your part because you understand maybe you were working such long hours that you weren't noticing what you could have noticed sooner. But the new energy here is talking about, like, this is Leo to me. Like, this is like admiring their wand and like, hey, I've got a feather in my cap. This is a young man, like a teenage boy too. The pages of wands, sorry, not pages of wands, but the pages would work for the royal court in the old days, and they would start working as a page from the age of 7 to 14-ish, and they would come from families in the area that were very high society, kind of, you know, well educated in that, and they would work in the court and they would deliver messages. They would be trusted to deliver messages back and forth from the, you know, from the people in the court, and just do small tasks and errands. And then if they became, you know, really good at what they were doing and they could afford a horse by the time they were 21, they could be considered for knighthood. And then they would be coming in, you know, they would be working as a knight. And you know, the only horse energy we have right here is this transition. And so this transit, and then we have this energy of this is coming in quick now, like it's on its way kind of energy. It's destined, like this reward is on its way. But this is talking about feeling like a teenage, like a Leo, and like the Leo full moon energy right here. Just really like, hey, I feel really passionate and creative, and I'm really, really excited about making this move now that I've made the decision. I'm ready for the new. I've let go of what I need to let go of. I'm ready. I really like this energy. This is perfect. I feel this is perfect Leo full moon energy. Awesome. And let's see here. We can clarify this a little bit more for you, Aries, and see where this is all going for you. Okay, if you are enjoying this reading, please do give it a like and comment. It really does empower me to build my channel and keep doing this for you all. And I also am going to be using my Oracle, Tales from the Vector. And I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com, where I have the paintings from this Oracle. I started in 2007. I completed all 64 paintings in 2020, and now I'm working on the book that goes with the information and print it out and put it out there in the next while. And so this energy is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I've had it out and about at fairs. It's fun. Like it's there's a lot of dragon, big dragon paintings. That's why it took me so long. And then just with a lot of different energy from crystals and dragonflies and all sorts of energy in there. And I will put in the description box below the order that the cards come up. On each card is a number, and on that number represents the number of the painting in the gallery, so you would know which ones to look for if you're looking this up. So I'm just tuning into this energy, and we want to see what else can we tell Aries about this. I really like this reading, Aries. If this feels like really strong rebirth energy, like just having the enthusiasm back, and you know, like when your bags are packed and okay, I'm ready to go, the flight's booked. I want to go. I'm ready to stand, I'm ready to walk, I'm ready to run. That's the energy. Okay, so there is some dissension is what's coming up in this. So this is a tactic that's sometimes used, and it's like with friends like this, who needs enemies? So, you know, it is what it is. There might have been dissension is when people talk amongst each other so that they kind of get people on one side, and maybe, you know, to, oh yeah, he doesn't know what he's talking about, we need to step in now. You know, like that kind of energy. And you're the one who's idea it was and who is pocketing it. So I can see why you're like, glory, hallelujah, I'm off. See you later. That kind of energy. And this is Capricorn, okay? So we have moved out of Capricorn energy now. We were in Capricorn energy from just a couple days ago as I'm doing this reading. So the Capricorn energy is about really taking those consistent steps of action to reach your goal. And it's really ambitious, and it's talking about being able to see all the possibilities and the challenges. And I feel like that's the energy that you were in when you you knew, like you had no doubt that this was going to work. It didn't matter how many people told you it's not going to work. You knew it was going to work. And good for you. It's something like when you wish upon a shooting star. Your dreams come true. That's the energy. You had a really good attitude. And what I mean by that, you can wish upon a star, and yes, your dreams may come true, but you probably have to put some work into it, which you may have noticed, Aries. You didn't just sit there and think, oh, I wished upon a shooting star, so now I'm going to sit and I'm going to wait for this to happen for me. You have to make it happen. And so there was some deception. Yeah, this is the energy. Well, you were busy with this, someone else was busy with someone else, and it could have been this energy of with friends like this who needs enemies. It may have been a friend of yours that was cheating with your partner and you didn't know it, or causing this dissension in the background that didn't help your relationship, if you know what I'm saying. And then this is Trauma Queen. Life's a slice, hold the drama. See, this Aries energy, I feel like that it's natural for the fire signs just to feel like get all fired up about an idea, and that will carry them through. If it's something they love and they think it almost becomes like, it's like, this is my baby kind of energy. And so this can talk about you didn't even notice the drama because you were too busy working. And you can tell because you're tired. It's that kind of energy. I mean, you noticed, but you thought, where is this coming from? And you didn't even have time to really, you didn't want to fight. You were already busy fighting for your business or your idea. And you didn't need any more drama. You were already tired. And so then it's like, some people may see it as, oh, well, you left and you were running away from something. No, I feel like you were walking away. I am done. I'm done. When you found out what happened, your intuition was telling you, hey, something's wrong here, and you were correct. And so instead of like freezing and just being in this regret, well, how long are you going to sit in regret for kind of energy? And then we have denial. What I don't know won't hurt me. You knew something was up and you knew you had to do something. And this is you having to really take a look at it, thinking, oh, I had the world in my hands. Now what happened here? That kind of energy. Like I'm ready to expand my business, but now I got to deal with this shift. And then we have the energy of Pisces coming in. So this is talking about sink or swim. Yeah. You decided, okay, I'm done. I'm not treading water. I'm not, like, this is emotion. This is the only cup of emotion here, by the way, other than the regret here. So it's kind of like, I'm not going to drown in this situation. I've put way too much into it. If my partner would prefer to be with someone else and it happens to be a friend of mine, I guess that's life. I'll get over it, that kind of energy. And then we have, temptation. Yeah, really interesting how that works out. So the devil is basically temptation. So, your part in it and the regrets that you have. But it's kind of, I feel like that this being on the reward is kind of saying these people wanted part of that reward. And they didn't put the work into it. As a matter of fact, they made it more work is what's coming up. So let's see, with this energy here, you're not going to get the truth from the devil, because this is about temptation. Taking something that's not yours, sneaking around in the back there, you know, in broad daylight, basically, and the whole town, like the whole town talking about it, you know, nobody telling you, you know, that kind of energy. So let's see, when the devil comes up, I cover it because I want to see what minion did this devil send in to do the dirty work, and also the energy of did God step in here, because there was a reward here, and this is dissemination of information. So I feel like this energy was clearly from this intuition, and you got this energy here sometimes can represent being in a nightmare or whatever, but at the same time, you know how sometimes you'll wake up between the hours of 2 and 4 in the morning and you'll be like, oh my God, that dream was so real. And it was actually giving you consistent steps of action, like in this Capricorn energy. Capricorn is represented by Saturn, and so is this the temptation energy. And so I feel that you were given some insight as to what was going on in the wee hours of the morning. You might have dreamt about it, and that's when you realized, hey, you know, like, I really need to do something about this. And there was an elephant in the room, and you were kind of noticing it, but you were busy. And this was like, you need to deal with this. Like, you need to deal with this right now. And this is how you need to deal with this. And this is that Capricorn energy. You need to take consistent steps of action, figure out what's going on. There's an elephant in the room. You got to notice it, right? And dissemination of information is when people talk in circles. So, you know, oh, well, you know, if you have a lot of people that you have known for a long time and you trust them and you think, oh, well, you know, they would tell me if something was really wrong. And then they're all going, oh, no, I don't think there's anything wrong. Like, no, I think it's your imagination, that kind of energy. And so here we have surrendering, yeah. So this is talking about that illumination can be coming from in the wee hours of the morning. That's quite often when your ancestors step in also. Any that have crossed the veil, and they're watching this and they're going, I don't think so. And they clue you in one way or another. And quite often ancestors will show up in dreams, you know, or they'll make themselves known in one way or another. And I feel like that's kind of the energy. And then the surrender was not surrendering to the energy or saying, I give up. That's definitely, no, you walked away from this negative energy and turned to God. Like, it's talking about getting divine intervention here. And then we have the Virgo energy. So this is talking about moving into, from the Leo energy, which is more of an adolescent, to Virgo, which would be like, okay, you have your degree, you have your papers, you have your ticket. It's that kind of energy. You've done the hard work to get this business off the ground, and now you're ready to franchise it. That kind of energy. And I just want to point out, when these signs come up in the zodiac, my intention isn't to identify specific people. This is a general collective reading. I am looking at the energy that sign represents, like in a really strong state of being. What value do they bring to the universe and to the planet Earth? And what can we learn from them about the stage of life that they represent? And it's not an age that people are at, but kind of talking about every stage of life has its pluses and minuses, right? So this is talking about, there's a fine line between analytical critique and anal criticism, and I feel like that's the energy that was going on here. Criticizing you, like little nitpicky things like that, of how you were running things when they didn't have the big picture to deal with. And that's like, when you get into analytical critique, that's valuable. Especially when you're running a business and you're this busy, you know, you turn to other people and you ask for, hey, what do you see here? Like, I need some solid information. And that is, a Virgo quality, is being able to really look at things and put things in order and make sure things are cleaned up and the way they need to be. And this energy here is also in the position of marriage and partnerships and that. So if you're relying on someone else's critique and it turns more into anal criticism, it's not helpful anymore. And there's a fine line between the two. And so then we also have the energy here of having to have the courage to be able to really take a look at yourself and the people around you and saying, okay, I need to take a look at this. And that's when this transition energy comes in. What I was going to say also about these, like, because there's so many horoscope signs coming in, I'm looking at this from a very broad level. There's a lot of different people's energies coming in here, not just one. This could be true. This, you could say, oh, that's a Pisces, and I can see that person was a Capricorn and Virgo, and that, you know, could be true in your situation. So trust your intuition around that, but that's not my intention here. So we have the Libra energy is about now. It's one step up from Virgo, being now you you're ready for marriage, you're ready for a partnership. Perhaps back here you weren't, you know, that kind of energy. And so it's about really being able to anticipate your journey now once you face all this energy. And then we have, for the next card, we have Aries energy. So you're representing yourself here. And so this is while you were busy being yourself and doing all this, someone else was doing someone you knew, basically, is what's coming up. That's not funny, but you may as well, like my dragon cards have a bit of a sense of humor. So they have a weird sense of humor. So this is talking about, you're representing yourself here as like, oh, okay, when you found that out, that's in your higher learning. I feel like you had an intuitive hit from the universe and from God, from the Holy Spirit in the wee hours. You might have had a dream, you might have had something happen, and it made you pay attention and realize, oh, this is something really serious I need to look at here. And then it became a nightmare. Yeah, there was a lot of foolish energy here. And partly on your part also, because you foolishly had expectations that these people would all tell you, or, you know, that you could trust them and that kind of energy. And so expectations create limitations is the energy. So now you know better. Like this is talking about, this is a good lesson to learn before you expand your business into something that you would not be able to, you know, pick it up. That's the energy. Yeah, the judgment came from the universe. This is talking about unfettered. This is the cosmic heart. This was to untie you from this energy. You needed to know this so that you wouldn't have any more expectations that were creating limitations for you. You put way too much work into this. And it was you were on your divine path. So these people didn't just go up against you. They went up against God himself. This was his plan. You were part of his plan. You were on it. And now this is saying now that judgment has been brought forth from the universe, which means for a lot of people it's karma. But a lot of people think karma is punishment. And karma is actually about cause and effect. And if you notice, there is not, I have 11 karmic cards in this deck, and not one single of those 11 cards has come up in this reading. It's all been about tactics, you know? And then it's all about kind of the stages you went through as you were on this journey. Very interesting energy, and I love it. My cards have a good sense of humor. So you are on a foolhardy journey now. And this is about, you know, blessings coming in from new people that really can see your, you know, the value of your endeavor here. And having this, you know, passion again, like this is awesome, and really looking forward to your journey. And you can be in that because you're foolhardy now. You can anticipate what's going to happen now. I really enjoyed this reading a lot. It's a really nice start to the full moon readings. I'm really glad I did it. And I'm really happy for you, Aries. Like, congratulations and all the best on your journey here. Please do give a like and comment if you've enjoyed this reading also. Consider subscribing to my channel if you resonate. It would be an honor for me if you did so. And I'll be back with another reading for you for the beginning of February at some point here. Bye for now, Aries. Sorry, Stella, I have to wake you up. Yeah, I know you were having a nice sleep.